to the Watering Hole. We're sitting down today with Miss Carolyn Grace. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
So we just listened to your sound check through the wall here over at Grady's. So what's it like? Is this your first time at Grady's, or have you played here before?
I've played here before. I played an opening set for Tyler Wilhelm last year, the year before. It's been a while.
Yeah. Is this your first headlining set? Mm-hmm. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we've been coming to Grady's and doing podcasts since like spring this year, and we've loved having it. We're a big shout out to Grady's for letting us come out here.
Super cool setup.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, we come to do a podcast, but there's a golfing simulator.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
I know why you're
I tried it.
Yeah.
I tried it.
Do you have any hobbies like that? Do you like to golf or anything?
I golfed a lot when I was younger. I went to the golf camps and everything.
Really?
But I've fallen out of it. I've been a few times in the past few months, and it's pretty fun. But other hobbies would probably just include like snowboarding, skiing.
Really?
Like to travel.
Do you go like snowboarding, skiing quite often, like every winter, or?
Yeah, we try to go every year. We my whole family skis, and we went 12 years in a row.
Wow.
And my dad got hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, was it? I hear skiing and snowboarding has a lot of knee injuries. Is that
It does.
common?
Yes, it was a knee injury.
Yeah.
That's how he got hurt. Yeah.
I've got 2 surgeries on my knee. I don't need to go skiing or snowboard. I don't need a third.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. I would suggest snowboarding, honestly.
Yeah. So you're out here at Grady's. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Elk City. Elk City, Oklahoma.
Is that out west?
Mm-hmm. That's out west. It's about 30 minutes east of the Texas Panhandle, so we're real close to Texas.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you get a lot of influence from like Texas country, being that close to Texas,
Definitely.
and kind of western Oklahoma?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a lot of Texas country, but also my mom is from northeastern Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
So she's got a little bit of the hillbilly in her,
Yeah.
and she grew up listening to bluegrass, and so she raised us primarily on bluegrass music. And when we were little, I've got 2 sisters, older sister and a younger sister. We played bluegrass instruments. We had a little band. We called ourselves the Fiddlesticks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're at northeast Oklahoma.
Pryor.
Oh,
Locust Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're from right in that area.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's not a bad area, but it is hillbilly.
Yeah. Believe me, we know.
I'm sure you do.
That's awesome. So what was like? What were the instruments that you like would play in the fiddlesticks?
So we started off on fiddle. All 3 of us played the fiddle. And then we ended up each picking up a second instrument. So my younger sister, Georgia, picked up guitar. I picked up mandolin, and my older sister, Abby, picked up banjo.
Wow.
So we would play at church. We'd play at the clubs around town, stuff like that. Like Rotary clubs, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think the first time you kind of came on our radar was when you played in Stillwater last spring, was it?
Coney?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. That was my first gig at Coney.
Did they have the outside stage at that point?
The first time I played there all alone for like 2 hours, and they had the little stage with a canopy over it because it was going to rain. So they didn't have any of their fancy stuff yet. But then, oh gosh, who played that night? I think I opened for Parker Caskey.
Yeah.
And they had the bigger stage. Or maybe it was Wyatt. Wyatt Flores played, and I opened for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was one of those times. I played at Coney a few times.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
so.
We talked to Parker back. Wow, it was last fall, I think.
Yeah.
Almost a year ago now. We talked to Parker Caskey. He's really cool.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you a Cowboys fan? Are you a Sooner fan?
Cowboys.
There we
all
go.
the way.
There
I
we
went
go.
for a year.
Really?
Okay.
I did. Yeah, I went for a year. I was in the music industry program, and then I just ended up deciding that dropping out and doing it on my own would be better. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
The parents said go for it.
Yeah,
so.
there you go. As long as you got the stamp of approval,
Yes,
that's all you need, right?
Exactly. They were like, if you think you can do it, go for it. I was like, all right, bye.
So who are some of those like key influences in your sound, or like what did you grow up liking, or what made you want to get into it?
It's a wide variety of people, honestly. My favorite artist of all time will always be Marty Robbins. Marty
Really?
Robbins is huge, but I love Patsy Cline, Alan Jackson, insane fan of Alan Jackson. Oh gosh, Loretta Lynn. It's mainly the older people, and I'm trying to bring a little bit of that back, but with a modern twist, because you have to have the modern twist to actually succeed with that. So it's a lot of older people,
Yeah.
but It works. And I haven't been able to really put a label on what my music is, because it's based in traditional country music, but it has a certain twang to it that's just different. Mm-hmm. And I owe it all to the musicians I'm working with right now. They are incredible. So they all have their own sound.
When you say older music, I'm a huge Dwight Yoakam fan.
Yes.
So
my gosh,
so
yes.
I get it, yeah.
Absolutely.
Being from Pryor, are you going to Born and Raised? Do you go to Born and Raised?
I've never been.
Really?
I've never been, but I want to go so bad. I'm going to try to go next time I get the chance.
They've got 2 older acts this year, Hank and Dwight.
Yeah.
I've noticed Dwight's doing a lot of shows now.
Yeah.
He's getting into all the festivals, and he's still getting after it. It's great.
I'll get to see Dwight for the first time when we go to Born and Raised, and he's been to how many shows?
I don't even know.
He can't even count anymore.
Super fan.
And I'm excited. I think he's excited for me to actually see the show.
Yeah.
It's like when your kid takes the training wheels off their bicycle. That's what this is for me.
That's awesome. I love it.
That's hilarious.
Yes. I haven't seen him live either, but I'm going to try to go this year. It's like 13th, 14th, and 15th or something.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
I have a gig on the 14th, so I'm going to try to make it day before or day after.
Yeah.
I think the older day is 15th. I think Sunday. I think that's Hank and Dwight on that day.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Who's like a bucket list? I guess probably Marty Robbins. If I'm
Yeah. People that are alive
either
would
one.
be Alan Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's doing his final tour. Are you going to that?
I was devastated when the CMAs came around and they did the Alan Jackson tribute because they said he was retiring. And then I guess he's got another tour going?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like his
the farewell tour.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to look at that. I have got to see him live. A couple months before the CMAs, I was telling myself, I have to see Alan Jackson live at some point. And then they announced his retirement, and I was like, no.
So
go ahead.
What's your favorite Alan Jackson song?
You stole my question.
Oh, perfect.
I think it's always been It Must Be Love. I love that song.
Yeah.
Love that song. But Papa Top, I mean, they're all good.
Yeah.
They're so good. I love Alan Jackson.
The who did it's not originally an Alan Jackson song. At Born and Raised last year, Tall Tall Trees. It's a Roger Miller song, but I like the Alan Jackson version too.
Yeah.
But somebody played it.
I'm trying to remember.
South Hall. It was
Yeah, that's right.
They did a cover of Tall Tall Trees at Born and Raised, and it was really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
So, who on the scene, like, do you think, like, who on the scene are you listening to right now? And, like, do you think has, like, what am I trying to say here? Like, who on the scene are you, like, really listening to and, like, looking up to right now? And, like, kind of this red dirt Texas country scene?
That's tough because there's a few Nashville guys doing it pretty good, but there's a lot of Texas people too. Oh boy. I don't know. Right now, I think my biggest, like, modern people are probably Sierra Farrell and Zach Top. Sorry, my phone's ringing. But there's so many people in the Texas country music scene. Do y'all know? Oh gosh, Jonathan Tyler. Jonathan Tyler in the Northern Lights.
I guess I don't know.
Okay, so we just recorded a song that he wrote. It's called Country Rose, and he's pretty cool. Y'all ought to look him up.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm looking up to him a lot right now.
Where's he based out of?
He's from Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah.
Cool. That'd be good.
Good songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you working on new music right now then? Mm-hmm. Are you working on like singles, full album?
Yeah. So we've been releasing singles all year, and we just recorded 3 more not too long ago, and they're in the works. They'll be coming out here in the next couple months. And then at the end of the year, we're working on it right now. We're going to put them all into an album together, and we're going to have vinyl. We're going to have it all.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We're just going to put all of them together into an album.
Yeah.
There should be 9 songs, I think. We're shooting for 12.
Yeah.
But
So speaking of vinyl, I mean, obviously we've got all kinds of vinyl around us here. Are you like a collector of vinyl or?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Really?
tell us about your vinyl collection. Like, what's it consist of?
It's
Other than-
growing very slowly because vinyl's a little bit expensive. But I've got the OGs like Willie Nelson and Alabama. I've got Alan Jackson. I just got a Chris Stapleton one. Oh, his records are so cool.
Yeah.
It's growing. I've got Eagles. Love the Eagles. I'm looking for a Doobie Brothers record. I haven't found one yet. I'm also looking for a Marty Robbins record. Haven't found one of those yet. But I'm looking up here. I've got some of these. There's a wall behind them with just records.
That's the problem with vinyl is the price. It's really cool to collect and everything, but that's the he's got kind of a good vinyl.
Yeah, I've been building on it. Been building on it. I got some of my favorites. That's one thing I really like. That I've always enjoyed about like albums and as a whole is the project as a whole, and we've talked about this a lot on the podcast before. But something that has a consistent like sound and theme and like that, those are stuff that I really enjoy, and that's what I like about vinyl is you can sit down and hear the whole thing from top to bottom, how it was supposed to sound whenever you're doing a collection, rather than just like say if like someone only puts out singles, like sometimes it doesn't have a single thread, and I can really appreciate whenever there's a project put together. Yeah. And it all comes together with the vinyl because you have like the cover art, like even like the backside stuff like that, and like what one of my favorites, and I've said this before, is it's always been up there, A Long Way From Your Heart by Turnpike. It's one of my favorite albums, just because top to bottom I love every song. Yes. And they all have a theme, and that's something that's really really cool about that.
Yeah.
One of the coolest vinyls I've seen that you have is the William Clark Green one.
Yeah.
Baker Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's also one of my favorites too.
It's weird. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool how it has the marble, whatever you want to call it.
Shout out to William. He gave it to me after our second podcast that we did with him.
Oh my gosh.
And he signed it and everything, and he's like here, just take it. And it was like the deluxe edition one.
Oh my god.
And it has a little game inside of it too.
What?
And it's got like it's got this like marble like balance game that goes with it, and like the story of like Baker Hotel and stuff like that.
Oh, that is cool.
It's a super cool album. I love it to death, and it's all capped together because it's signed by him too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Another vinyl that I was thinking about that we got after a podcast, Caitlin Butts. Are you? I mean, I feel like you portray some Caitlin Butts in your sound, and am I right in that, wrong in that?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. She's cool. I saw her at Sam's Town Point in Austin. They did a thing for South by Southwest. I don't remember what it was called now, but it had a name, and there was a whole list of artists that were there. And I was like the very first artist to play because nobody knows who I am yet, really. But then she played on the big stage, and she is good live.
Yeah, she's real good.
She is talented.
Yeah. What I was going to say is I was going to draw a little bit of comparison here to Zach Top, like you were saying earlier about people to look up to, having the bluegrass like influence and background with like kind of like the modern country twang. Like that's a kind of a one-to-one there. I think that's really cool as well.
Zach Top is awesome.
Yeah.
Would you ever do like a duet type thing?
Okay, so I'm actually kind of working on that right now. It's taking song after song after song. I haven't liked any of the ones that I've written so far enough to actually pitch them to anyone. But I've got a couple people in mind that I may ask once I write one that I really like.
Now, would you do that as like a single, or would you hold that for like an album, or?
It depends on when it happened, I think, and what how my other projects were going. Because I think it could be cool to do it as a single, because you can really build it up all on its own.
Yeah.
Instead of just part of an album. So I'd probably end up doing it as a single. Yeah.
If you're just gonna digest music, if you sit down, would you rather listen to like a single from this artist, or would you rather like dive into a full album from one person? You guys are good to do whatever you need to do.
I've gone back and forth on that a little bit, but lately I have realized I will know an artist for one song, and I'm like, they probably have so many great songs. And so I'll just go to their profile on Spotify and play all of their songs and just listen to them.
Yeah.
I'll spend a day working around my house listening to one artist And so I've been doing that. So I do like to hear a bunch of songs from each artist instead of just knowing them by one or two songs.
That's kind of funny because I like doing the same thing.
Yeah.
About like usually if I really like an artist, I know most of their songs. There's a couple here and there. Like,
Yeah.
Fine, interrupt me, whatever.
the Spotify thing we were talking about on the way here. The artist.
Oh yeah. I noticed on your Spotify page is so you don't have a This Is playlist yet for like Spotify made.
Yeah.
Genius idea to do it yourself. That is
Thank
a
you.
genius idea.
I got the little Spotify logo in the corner and everything.
I said the same thing when we were coming up here. I'm like, she's even gonna put the Spotify
Yes.
logo. I'm like, that is
Make it till you make
genius.
it, baby.
Yes, I love that. By the way, I told him that. I'm like, that is genius that she did that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And put it on everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like you were saying, like usually whenever I really dive into an artist, like I like to listen to almost every song, and I like to see their full catalog of work and kind of really get to know them as an artist rather than just like knowing them by like their biggest song or their second biggest song, whichever one you connected with originally.
Because as an artist, personally, if you think about it, you want one song to go big and get you where you need to be, but you want everybody to listen to all of your other songs that you had put in so much work for years before that, because they were your building blocks, and you want people to hear those too.
Yeah.
So the songs I'm releasing right now, I'm like, these are really good songs, but they haven't like been a hit yet. But once I do have that, I want people to come back and listen to all these songs. So I'm like, I need to do that for other artists.
Yeah, exactly. And like usually the song that becomes a hit for most artists isn't their favorite song of their own collection.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Well, so speaking of that, what's your favorite song that you've released so far?
Oh, The Man with the 45 is one of my favorites right now.
Yeah.
But the three we have in the works are Country Rose, It Could Be Love, and Old Cowboys and Young Horses. And I think It Could Be Love is probably one of the best songs I've written so far. And ironically, it's my first love song that I've actually liked and wanted to release. But I think of the ones that I've released, probably Man with the 45 is my favorite.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you about that. I noticed you don't really have any love songs out there, and I think that's something that's really appreciable about like you as a woman artist. I feel like a lot of woman artists get stuck in like love song or even the anti-love song kind of thing, and I kind of appreciate that about like you and your catalog.
Well, yeah, when I started writing songs, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just writing songs about relationships, because a lot of people, the majority of their songs are love songs or heartbreak songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of a girl thing for the most part. It's girls that kind of get stuck in that. And it's great for a lot of girls. That's their niche and it works. So they need to do that. But there's guys like Marty Robbins. He writes songs about so many random things. I've been listening to John Denver a lot. Sunshine on My Shoulders. Yeah. He wrote a song about sunshine. Yeah. You know, like Rocky Mountain High. Yeah. He wrote a song about the mountains. Yeah. I want to do stuff like that. That's not about love. It's not all about love.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to have the diversity.
Yeah. So. And I think that's I love it when artists find like art in places that are very uncommon, like that, like the sunshine or the mountains or whatever it is. I think it's really interesting.
Have to, I don't know. I will sit down and start writing about something random, and I'm like, this sounds so cheesy. So cheesy. Go listen to Sunshine on Your Shoulders by John Denver. Yeah. It can be cheesy, but it's an awesome song. It's an awesome song. So you just have to kind of put that behind you. Yeah. Say, this might sound cheesy to me, but everybody else is going to love it.
Yeah. So since we're on the songwriting subject, how do you sit down? Like, what's your thought process whenever you sit down and write a song? Do you have a subject matter, or are you just trying to open yourself up to all ideas?
Yeah. So I have a massive level or a massive number of titles, like song titles, in my notes app on my phone. I'll be doing anything, and if I think of a song title, I write it down. And so when I go to sit down to write, I just look at that list and I pick a title. Even if the title ends up changing, I at least have a concept. And whatever mindset I'm in at the moment, is how I'll pick which one to write.
Yeah.
And I may write 3 different versions of it with the same title. But that's kind of what I do. And I don't really have a system where I start with the lyrics or I start with a chord progression. I just kind of do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you have 3 or several different versions of the same song.
Yeah. So I'll have 3 different songs with the same title.
Do you tend to like a slower song or a faster song when you're just listening?
I have found that for me, slower songs are actually easier to write, but I love the barn burner songs as well. So I'm really working on writing more of those right now because that doesn't come as naturally to me for some reason. I don't know why, because I've always loved like Carrie Underwood and her girl power barn burner songs and stuff like that. So it's not as easy, but that's what I've been working on.
Yeah. What about covers? How do you feel about covers? Do you do covers in your set?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So we're still building our roster of originals. So we have to throw in a few covers here and there. I think tonight we're probably going to do Jolene, You Ain't Woman Enough by Loretta Lynn, stuff like that. We've got Landslide by Stevie Nicks. Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Those are our main covers.
Okay. What do you think is the hardest part about being where you're at in this stage of your career? What has been the most difficult thing for you to overcome so far, or that you are currently trying to overcome for anybody that might be wanting to get into something like this?
I would say stage presence is probably my biggest issue at the moment. It takes a lot to be comfortable on stage and be comfortable moving around. You got to learn how to interact with the other musicians on stage. Step away from your microphone, dance around a little bit. It's just hard because when you're playing somewhere smaller, Grady's is great. I feel like I'm going to feel pretty comfortable tonight. But if I'm somewhere where there's a low crowd, they're not super engaging, it's really difficult. And you don't want to talk very much. I'm really bad at the talking. I'm getting better at it, like talking between songs, because you don't want it to just be quiet. Yeah. You got to say something. So I'm working on that, and that gets really difficult when you have a crowd that doesn't really engage with you. Yeah. But tonight, just during sound check, people were hooping and hollering, and they're going to make it easy. So I think that's probably my biggest thing right now that I'm working on.
The best people that we've seen probably talk on stage is probably the guy's hat I'm wearing right now, the Huser Brothers. Have you ever seen one of their shows or heard of them? They're hilarious. The lead singer, Zach, he's absolutely hilarious. And he's fantastic. He'll the half the entertainment factor is just him on stage making
That's
jokes.
So natural for some people.
He's naturally just a funny guy.
Yeah.
He had earlier in the day before they sound checked, he went to a music shop around here and he found like a Hannah Montana guitar.
Oh my gosh.
And so he bought it and brought it out.
That's
stuff like
awesome.
that is hilarious.
And then they played I don't know what the song was, but it was like a Mexican song. and their keys player knows how to play accordion, and he also I think he was born in Mexico. So he sung the whole song and played accordion the whole time. It was,
oh my gosh.
It was so entertaining. Yeah.
That would be entertaining.
Yeah.
So I saw a post from you not too long ago with Randy Travis.
Yes.
You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was amazing. So it was out of the blue. It was a little bit last minute, but I got a DM from the brand Absolutely Ridiculous, and it's a baseball gear brand. And it was founded by a guy, I think he's from Nashville, but I think he's also a musician, and he's also a baseball player. And he made this brand, and it's mainly baseball, obviously, but they have these events, and it's musicians and athletes. And I hadn't thought about it until that brand kind of pointed it out, but musicians and athletes really do have admiration for each other. I grew up rodeoing, so I've been kind of in the athlete world, but I think athletes are incredible. Like the Olympics, absolutely incredible. And I've met athletes that think musicians are incredible, just what they do. And so he kind of brings those two things together in these events. And so they had an event at Chicken and Pickle in Grand Prairie, and it was baseball and softball players, and musicians. And there were some bigger musicians that were supposed to be there, but they had to cancel kind of last minute. I think that's why I got invited. I got really lucky. And they DM'd me and said, here's the deal. Here's where we want you. Here's what's happening. And I said, absolutely, I'll be there. And I showed up, and Casey Donahue was there. Randy Travis. It was a benefit for the Randy Travis Foundation. He and his wife there. His wife, Mary, is adorable. She's awesome. Coffee Anderson. Coffee or Cafe, I really don't know. He was super nice, super nice guy. And a few other people, and just insanely talented people, musicians and athletes. Jenny Finch was there. She's a softball player. Bryce Harper was there. Yeah.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Ellie De La Cruz was there. It was really cool.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how I met Randy Travis. And it was cool because I don't know why people liked me, and they were like, you need to come talk to Randy Travis. And so I came and talked to Randy Travis, and then the entire night, if I walked up to wherever Randy was, somebody would say, oh, here, sit here. And I'd be sitting with Randy Travis again, sitting next to him again.
Yeah.
And so we were just like buddies all night. We were just besties with Randy Travis for an evening. It's unbelievable. It was so much fun. I got to play some songs just by myself. And then James Dupre, he is the voice for Randy Travis's new AI song. He was there, and he is crazy talented. I sang a Randy Travis song with him, just sang harmony. You look across, and Randy Travis is sitting there. You're singing a Randy Travis song to him. It was a really cool experience.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
that's really cool.
All right, which one of us is going to tell the story?
You go
ahead.
No, you're back.
So we actually had a run-in with Randy Travis a while back also.
yeah.
So we're based out of Stillwater. So we do a lot of stuff with the Tumbleweed.
Oh yeah.
And they
I've seen
have
that.
a
That's really cool.
Battle of the Bands competition. And this year for the finale, they had 3 celebrity judges.
Okay.
So they had Randy, they had Wyatt Flores, and they had, I guess they had more than 3, but they had Bryce Conway and J.J. Lester from The Great Divide.
Okay.
And they had Brandon Jackson from No Justice.
Yeah.
So we got a chance. We kind of had heard a little bit of going around like Randy Travis might be here. And we're like, oh, no way, you know.
Yeah.
So when it was happening, we got a chance to meet him, and that was one of the coolest things we've ever got to do.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
because
I
it's
bet.
like all the music that this guy has made. I mean,
The
it's just
history.
Like, crazy.
That is really cool. In Stillwater?
Yep.
Yeah, at the Tumbleweed.
That's Tumbleweed.
Golly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Have you ever been to the Tumbleweed?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we would do the Thursday college nights. Go dancing.
Okay.
Love dancing.
What year were you there?
Let's see. I graduated high school in 22.
Oh, okay. So I guess it'd be last year maybe that you were there?
I would be a junior if I were still in school. I would be going into my junior year.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
he was the DJ for college
Oh,
night.
no way.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
For 2 years, I just graduated in May.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was you that I talked to, because I walked up there one time and requested to play one of my songs. I requested to play Lady
Yeah,
Luck.
it had to have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had to have been.
And y'all played it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was praying you were to say, and he didn't play it.
No, we were shocked that you actually played
Well,
it.
I like. It's like a little bit of a vetting process.
Yeah.
Like I'll pull the song up on my phone, and because I get all kinds of
Yeah.
crazy
Oh, I'm sure.
stuff. But yeah, that Lady Luck is actually one of my favorites. We were talking about that on the way over here.
Oh, awesome.
Man with the 45 and Lady Luck, probably my 2 favorites. I
Yeah.
would say.
Okay.
Yeah. I was really hoping you were gonna say you
Yeah.
didn't play it. I was
Nah,
gonna
we're not
laugh so
gonna
hard.
play
And he didn't play it, and you just get up and walk off.
Bye. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, no, it was really cool. I was with a couple friends, and it actually came on, and we were like, and people started dancing to it and
Yeah.
everything. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's always cool because we've had a couple like smaller artists on that
Mm-hmm.
like you've gotten a chance to play their songs like at Tumbleweed and they've been there.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, this is cool because like I get to see people actually enjoy the song and go like dance to
Yes,
it. And
exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I would play something different, like people would come up and be like, "What is that? Like,
Yeah.
Who is that?"
Mm-hmm.
So it was always cool when you played somebody like that, especially that we knew or something around there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was a fun time, but I'm glad that that's a past chapter of my life. Yeah.
That would probably get old.
They just
after a while.
opened up last week, I think. So they'll start having some concerts soon, so we'll be back in there.
Yeah.
Good.
There was someone else that we've had on, Michaela Lane.
Yes.
You know her?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's cool.
I think she may have said something. I don't know if it was during the podcast or before or after, but I think she mentioned you then also.
Oh, really?
Have you guys like played any together or
We
like
haven't.
just? Okay.
We haven't. We haven't been able to connect in person yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, her songs are great.
Do you do any kind of like song swaps with people like that?
Yeah, I've done a few. I've done 2 song swaps with Parker Cascade at least, I think. And then I did a song swap at the Cicada in Fort Worth a couple months ago. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the coolest places you've got to play or people you've got to open for or stuff like that?
I think my favorite venue so far was probably the Rustic in San Antonio, which is sad because we were one of the last shows they had, and then they closed. But their venue was amazing. Amazing. We opened for Tyler and the Great Divide not too long ago in Sayre. That was cool. Great Divide's great.
Yeah.
Opened for Wyatt a long time ago at Coney. Opened for Parker. Opened for Stoney LaRue and Jason Boland last year.
That's cool.
Yeah, in Kansas. That was a fun show.
Yeah.
That was a really fun show. So there's been a few really cool experiences so far.
Where's the like farthest way you've gotten to travel to go play a show?
We're starting to reach out into Arkansas and Missouri. We haven't gotten there yet. So I would probably say Austin, Kansas. It was in Winfield, Kansas, so it's like southeast, but still Kansas.
Yeah.
We've stayed mainly in Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
But
Is there ever a chance that you'll throw out like a bluegrass song?
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. That's definitely a goal. Take it back to the roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Fiddlesticks Return.
Yes. Return of the Fiddlesticks.
That's the whole album.
With an X. We always used to correct people.
Yeah.
It's Fiddlesticks with an X.
Yeah.
Do you like the Castellos?
Yeah.
Okay. They're kind of getting some traction here recently.
They are.
That I've seen.
Yeah.
And they just had a song with Wyatt. Is like a group like that something you would ever do? Like they had you mentioned Carrie Underwood earlier and she didn't, but like Miranda Lambert had like the side group thing. Is that anything you would ever?
So I considered that for a long time. Both my sisters can sing. They have beautiful voices. I just can't convince them to do it with me.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I definitely dreamed about for a while. It's like it'd be so cool for the 3 of us to be together, much like the Castellos. It'd be very bluegrass. It'd be our own thing. But I can't convince them to do it with me. Shout out to Abby in Georgia. I'm still counting on you. But I've met a few girls, one in particular. Shout out to Katie. She's amazing. Katie Bardwell. Have y'all met her? She's in Stillwater.
Yeah, she DM'd us a while back about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
We haven't got that set up yet, but yeah.
Y'all ought to have her on. She is extremely talented.
Cool.
I think our voices would complement each other. I think she'd be fun to at least do a duet or a few duet songs with. But I've considered asking someone else to join just because for so long it was extremely intimidating to be on stage and be in the middle, you know? The person that people were listening to for the most part. And so I was like, man, this would be so much easier if I had somebody else up here with me, like a Maddie and Tay kind of thing. But I don't know. I think it's harder. I think that would honestly make it more difficult because just asking other people if that would be a good idea, I've gotten negative feedback on it. And they said, no, I think it'd be easier for you to do it by yourself, no matter how talented the person you would join is. But so I definitely dreamed about that for a long time, but it just wasn't the best option, I guess.
I can see that. I mean, the more people that you add at the top level, I mean, then you have somebody wants to do this, somebody wants to do this other thing, and it's hard to agree or whatever. So.
Yeah. So what songs have been kind of in your rotation here lately? You got anything that's been really popping on repeat on Spotify or anything?
Oh.
Well, first of all, are you a Spotify or Apple Music user?
So I grew up on Apple Music, but lately I've been listening to Spotify.
Let's go.
I've kind of switched. Whether it's the light side or the dark side, I don't know.
It's the light side. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're coming to the right place.
Okay, good. Good to hear. I've gotten into The Ghost of Paul Revere.
Oh, really?
Have y'all heard?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, The Ghost of Paul Revere, Camp. Love Camp.
I haven't really listened to Camp at all, but
Camp.
I've heard of them.
2 A's.
They are.
We saw them. I've seen them in person at Kane's Ballroom in Tulsa.
Really?
Amazing. And Oliver Hazard opened for them, and they were awesome too. So that's one you should listen to. I've been finding some of the smaller bands. I say small; they're a lot bigger than I am. I'd probably say The Ghost of Paul Revere. I've been listening to them the most.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different band, but do they dress up in the 1776 red coat? There's a band out there that does that. I didn't know if it was them or somebody else.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe somebody else has got like a similar name like that, but I thought they did.
Yeah.
That's what Spotify will get you, some weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why you should have stuck with Apple Music.
Oh, so we've got your Apple Music, your Spotify. I see.
And I'm winning.
Yeah, and it's not even close. Yeah. And we've had one like YouTube Music.
One was Amazon, wasn't it?
Yeah, one was Amazon Music. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But definitely Spotify being the top one. Do you listen to podcasts or anything like that?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite podcasts?
None of them were very productive. I listen to murder mystery podcasts.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't, but I do.
She listens to The Watering Hole.
So yes, I listen to The Watering Hole.
Perfect. Yeah. Wow. Yes. Let's go.
We did not pay her to say that.
Not on commission here.
Yeah.
Let's see. S-Town. Have y'all listened to the S-Town podcast? Listen to the S-Town podcast with Brian Reed. It's weird. Just a warning. It is weird. But it's a true story, and it is very
What are you getting us into here?
Do what?
I said, what are you getting us into here?
Probably nothing good.
Are you
Probably nothing
into
good.
stand-up comedy or anything like that?
Actually, we just saw a Sebastian Maniscalco show.
Really?
Like last weekend, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
Huh.
First comedy show I'd ever been to.
Huh,
He was
really?
awesome. Yeah.
Where was that at?
Dallas.
Oh.
Dallas, yeah. American Airlines Center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was great.
Next time she plays in Austin, she needs to go down to Joe Rogan's club.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's in Austin?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's got a big comedy club down there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
So I'm guessing you don't know what Kill Tony is?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I don't know much.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
You need to check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an acquired taste.
It is.
But
Okay.
What about Ron White? Have you heard of
I
Ron
haven't
White?
heard that name.
Okay, I got another acquired taste again.
Okay.
If you don't know who they are, they're probably not the type to just like look them up because it's an acquired taste.
I don't know. She was telling us about a weird podcast.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
It's weird, yeah.
Where can people check out your music, your socials, all that stuff?
So Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are all under Caroline Grace Country. It's all the same. And then on all the streaming platforms, it's just Caroline Grace.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
there's a few Caroline Graces out there, so you have to be careful.
Have you had any?
We don't want to get scammed. You know?
Have you had any like accounts pretending to be you yet?
One on TikTok, which was very strange. It was weird to see them actually getting followers, and like people were falling for it. And I reported them a few times and was like commenting on their posts like, come follow the real me. This isn't me.
It's weird. I see like other musicians too, like having like a bunch of these like weird, either like them making merch and like selling fake merch. That's
that
crazy.
is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest thing. I had only heard about that like a couple weeks ago, and I'm dating a calf roper, and he's from Kansas, but he's a calf roper. He rodeos, like pro rodeos, and somebody made a fake account and was putting him on sweatshirts, and people that he knows are actually buying them.
Oh, no.
That's fantastic.
Oh no.
I hope we get that big to where we have fake accounts.
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be fantastic.
As long as somebody's advertising for us, it's fine.
Honestly.
Sell all the shirts you want as long as
It's got
someone's
his
buying
name
them.
on it. It was an actual product. Like, he paid for it and actually got it. So
He bought one. That's
He
hilarious.
bought one too.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
He gets it, but it's like sideways.
It's like one of those iron-on
Yeah.
peel off.
It peels off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Have you done any podcasts before?
Yes, I did one a long time ago. It was in my hometown. It was in Elk City. Just a smaller podcast. It was good. It was fun. But then my drummer, JC / manager, he's like the boss pretty much. He has been on 96.5 KECO in Elk City. It's like a Western Oklahoma thing. And I've done some radio shows with him.
Huh, cool.
So that's the closest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
she said smaller podcast like we're a big podcast too. Thank you.
About this level. About this level. Nah.
You know, they only have one light.
Y'all are doing pretty good, man.
Well, when you get hit up by Ray's Rowdy and Whiskey Riff, just remember you started on the water.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yep.
We had a great time. You're awesome. So
Thank you.
for
So are
coming
y'all.
on. We
Yes.
appreciate it. And we're looking forward to the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
glad.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.